Americans are not letting Democrats off the hook for sky-high gasoline prices. A new ABC Ipsos poll finds 52% of Americans blame Democrats and their policies for the spike in gasoline prices, while nearly the same number of people blame President Biden. Joining me right now is Pennsylvania Senate candidate Kathy Barnette. She is an Armed Forces Reserves veteran. She is the author of the book, Nothing to Lose, Everything to Gain, Being Black and Conservative in America. Kathy, great to have you today. Thanks very much. Let me start there on your book. Tell me why you why you wrote this book about being black and conservative in America. You are making a point here.
Yes, listen, I wanted to write that book because I needed to. It's my journey off a pig farm. I grew up in dire straits. I grew up in a home with no installation, no running water, an outhouse in the back, and a well on the side. And yet no one ever told me that I was a victim. No one ever looked at me and said, Kathy, all the odds are against you. You're black, you're a woman, you're poor, you might as well give it up. And because no one ever told me that, they had many reasons to decry victimhood if they wanted to, but no one, I don't recall one time anyone ever saying that to me. And as a result, I've been able, my husband and I, to claw my way from underneath the rock and create a different narrative for myself and for my family. But that America that allowed me to do that is about to come to a close for the very reason you just opened up this segment on. Democrats are destroying this country. And it's not just Democrats, but right now they're at the helm of things and they can change everything tomorrow if they wanted to. But in order to do that, they would have to admit everything they've ever said and done has been a complete failure. And what are the odds of them doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of when Joe Biden was giving that interview to Charlemagne and said, look, if you don't agree with me, you ain't black. I mean, why is this narrative of, African Americans have to always vote Democrat and that the Democrats are supposed to be so great for the black community when, in fact, we don't see much progress over these policies when they've been in control? What have they done?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And during 2020, when we had all of the Black Lives Matter rallies that were going on all across the nation, here in Montgomery County, where I live, it's the second wealthiest county in the state of Pennsylvania. And yet where black people primarily live in this county, they're living 35% below the poverty level. And of course, Black Lives Matter would never invite me to come and speak. So I just started showing up, walking up on the stage, taking the mic and saying, what are you going to do about it? I'm black. And I would begin to speak to roughly 600 black people standing there, and I would ask them that exact same question. We have been Democrats' most loyal constituents for the past 59 years now, ever since Lyndon B. Johnson came up with his Great Society idea. And no one is more loyal to the Democrat Party than black people. And I begin to pose the question, what exactly have we gotten for that loyalty? We know Democrats cannot secure the White House without getting 92 to 95% of our vote. But what exactly have we gotten? Because, and I think it's a legitimate question to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, they get the White House, but we get poor schools, unsafe streets. Instead of getting the police when we dial 911, they now want to send social workers. And black people are not special little unicorns. We recognize it. But my book is also for the broader American culture.
Yeah. Kathy, do you think this is resonating throughout the black community? I mean, I know in the 2020 election, we had the best turnout that we've seen in decades, if not ever, for the black community to come out and vote. I wonder if you're seeing this feeling, this sentiment that, questioning the Democrats more pervasively throughout the black community. I spoke with Georgia Senate candidate Herschel Walker over the weekend. He joined me on Sunday Morning Futures yesterday, and we talked about President Obama's visit to the White House. Here's Herschel. Watch this.
You have supposed to be the leader, the strongest leader in the free world, and he's walking around like he is totally lost in a room, whereas everyone now is gravitating to Obama. They forgot, even the vice president, she's over there with Obama. So it just shows you where the leadership is at, and that's why we need strong leaders right now to get to Washington and help straighten this out.
Kathy, your reaction?
Yeah, listen, and it's not just the Black community, it's Americans. When you're looking at the polling numbers, they recognize that there is something completely different from buying into the utopia that Democrats were selling everyone back in 2020 and the reality of actually living in that utopia. It sucks. And most people recognize that. Take a look at these poll numbers. And even, for example, I had about an hour and a half between meetings, and my team brought in about 30 Black men. I spent 30 minutes speaking to them. The next 30 minutes, every last one of them changed their voter registration from Democrat to Republican. You can go out to my Facebook at Kathy Barnette for Senate. This Saturday, those who have fled totalitarianism from the Horn of Africa, they held a very large fundraiser for me this Saturday. Every last one of those people changed their registration from Democrat to Republican. I'm seeing it when I go into the Hispanic community, the Amish community, which came out very big for President Trump in 2016. They're also, go out on my Facebook, you will see me going all across our Commonwealth. We're traveling over 1,500 miles a week. People feel squeezed right now. And the last thing they want is more of what the Democrat Party has to offer them. There is no ceiling on these gas prices right now. Agriculture is one of the largest industries here in Pennsylvania, and we're seeing that impact them as well.
Yeah, real quick, Kathy, we know that President Trump endorsed Dr. Oz. This is a crowded field. We've had David McCormick on this program as well. How are you feeling about your campaign?
I'm feeling really good. Actually, President Trump endorsing the Oz is perhaps one of the best things that has happened to my campaign. My team woke me up yesterday saying the number of people who are mentioning our name all across social media is off the charts right now. Listen, we appreciate everything that President Trump did when he was in office. He had the best policies. And unfortunately, we had a number of Republicans who didn't want to come alongside him. And we had the Democrats just yapping at his heel every turn. But when you're looking at McCormick, I believe he is a Hunter Biden laptop waiting to happen. When you're looking at Oz, everyone is recognizing that there is something very odd about his claim to being a conservative. We're not buying it.
All right, Kathy, we'll be watching this. A great tight race, and we will have you back soon to get a catch up. Thank you so much. Kathy Barnette joining us, running for Pennsylvania Senate seat.